crooked government and has been for decades fighting
the local government.
Yeah, and he's amazing. What a courageous guy. But I don't know if you want to record this part, but as I explained to her to catch her up, he's a devout Catholic. And he's very upset that I talk about the truth. And we're going to talk about it now. And Laura Lee and Jeff asked me to say it without this information, but I can't. I don't think I can. So sometimes, you know, for most of us have gone to school and we've been brainwashed. We believe what we were taught, and we go to elementary school and we're like 4.5 years old. And, you know, our parents also believe this, so who knows what they said to us. And every time they talk about government, they give us a picture, right? We're beautiful, free Americans living in the wonderful USA with our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, and our government, you know, is there to support those, and we have freedom of the press. We have all these wonderful things. And I believed all of it. I don't know if you believed all of it. But I found out when I was actually in high school, I was, you know, I was born in 1950. So that means that the Vietnam War happened during my high school years. I did not become extremely political active, but I had a lot of friends that did. And what I learned was that the government that I really trusted was sending out, you know, spies and stuff into the peace marches and everything in order to create violence. And then they would arrest all the marchers. And at first I didn't believe it. But as it kept happening, you know, and then my sister started a little local newspaper, right? Naive and wanting to make a difference, and she went and got a press pass and started a little paper, and what happened is the FBI came after her, threatened her life if she continued to print the things she was printing, because she was interviewing people like Malcolm X directly.
And that's corrupt. FBI went after her, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's corrupt. I think FBI as a whole, possibly, the whole thing's corrupt, because I've looked into it, and it turns out the FBI has no mandate, they have no contract, they actually have no right to exist in America.
Well, and the CIA at this point, I mean, just what happened from the last administration with Trump, and how they worked diabolically behind the scenes to go after him and create false premises for impeachment.
Right, I think people finally saw it with this last election.
I think so, but then there's a huge contingent of the population that has bought into the brainwashing of the media.
Yes.
And the talking points, day by day, were the same talking points. It didn't matter. I would go from one station to the next.
The same,
and it was the same talking points that were lies.
Well, and then we learned that they're actually using frequencies in the television that MK Ultra, in all their studies, they know for sure it causes brainwashing. So they're actually including these frequencies in the television. That's why people that watch television seem so programmed. They are programmed, literally.
What frequencies? That's interesting.
I can't remember the details, and I didn't really want you to come here and talk about this.
Okay, we can talk about it.
And here's why. Because these people are doing so many terrible things, and the rabbit hole on it is so deep. We could talk for days, and we wouldn't come to the end of everything that's going on. Instead, what I finally decided to do was take my eyes off the horror and start to look for solutions. Because, look, I can't stop the FBI.
No.
Right?
No.
I can't stop the do weapons that pulverized paradise. I can't stop that. You know, that came down from the sky, and I can't stop that. I can't stop the people from saying yes to COVID. I can't stop that. I can't go out to the mass media and make them behave and tell the truth. Nothing that I do is going to make them do that. And so what I had to face is that I was looking at all the things I couldn't do. I was spending years studying it, learning about it, researching it, right? So that I knew what they were doing to us. But the problem was, everything that I read about was so awful. And it didn't help me do anything. And more I was becoming like an angry victim, kind of that was how I felt. Mm-hmm. And the more I looked, the more I realized there was a problem, but I didn't find any solutions. And finally, this year, beginning of the year, I thought, okay, Trump said we need to gather the people, and I'm getting the feeling we need to work together. There's a lot of information that basically says we need to work together, and that divided we're weak, together we're strong, and they've been trying to divide us. That means if I can get people together, then we'll have strength. So it took me actually a while to find the assembly that I'm in now. I actually made 3 false starts, because in order to divide us, this awful thing that passes as government, which really is not government, what they've done, they've created corporations that act like assemblies to gather people together, to pull in the leaders, the movers, the shakers, the ones that are